you're not like all these bunny girls. You're a zombie girl.
Yes, and zombies know how to defend themselves, so then I can tie in that I know karate.
Yes!
A good game or warm-up for listening, a warm-up, there's something called NonSequitur, and you have the team up here, and a moderator will point to somebody, and they have to say anything that comes to their head, and then they'll point to somebody else, and they have to say something too, but it cannot be related to anything that was said previously. So you have to be aware of you have to be listening to that and know that you have to say something that is not related to that at all.
Yeah. It sounds easy, but it gets really difficult once you get past a certain amount of objects and places.
It gets down to like 2 people, and it's crazy.
And it's also, if the moderator wants to be really evil, the connections they can make. So you have to really be listening, but also actively thinking of things that are so far from it.
But a game that is also good for listening, it's called Entrances and Exits. I need to have a little asterisk. Prerequisite, I guess. Listening is not just with your ears. You can listen with your eyes. So let's say somebody in a scene is doing something physical that's important to the scene. You have to be listening with your eyes and know what is going on there.
Right.
So with entrances and exits, there's a person who is unaware that the other people in the scene have a specific trigger of that person that triggers them to either exit the scene or enter the scene. So the people in the scene have to be listening and being aware of what the person is doing at all times. Because if their trigger is when they put their hands up, they have to be aware every time they put their hands up. Because the audience, you'll go, oh, they did the thing, but they didn't exit.
Right.
So you have to be aware of everything. Same thing with the person who's trying to figure out what the things are. They have to listen to themselves. Go, what am I doing that's causing them? So it's all about listening with your ears, eyes, and brain.
A warm-up or game to help you with physicality. So for the warm-up, I would say a game called Alien Greeting, which is basically just what it sounds like. You would separate the team into 2, and then there'd be like 5 on one side, 5 on the other, and you'd walk up and you have to alien greet them. But it usually is with some sort of physicality or some voice or something that would be alien-esque.
Yeah. It's a warm-up just to get your weirdness out. It's okay to be physical. It's okay to let your body do weird things. You don't want to be embarrassed or ashamed. You can make a weird noise and do a weird.
It also kind of inspires you to be weirder because the more physical people get, the more physical you kind of have to get, because it's like the stakes are raised and you're like, whoa. But and it's cool seeing other people be so comfortable, because then it's like, okay, I can be that comfortable. That made me laugh. That made me, I'm entertained. I'm not like, who's that? Like, get them out of here. Like, you want to be better. So yeah. And then for the games, we have a notepad, excuse me. So there's a game called Freeze Tag, where it's basically like a straight scene, but at any point, someone can freeze the person.
Yeah, there's 2 people doing the scene, and then the other people are on the neutral line in the back.
I know the game so well.
And these 2 people are doing a scene. They're being physical, and then a person in the back will go, freeze. They have to stop in whatever body position they are, and the person gets to tap out.
That's right.
And assume that position and start an entirely new scene.
Yes. It's just, it makes you want to be physical the entire scene, because you want to give the people behind you something comedic / a little bit difficult if they're your friends and you're like kind of evil with it to work with. Because it's so funny if you're like, it's not as hard if you're like freeze and the person's like, because you could be like peace and love. But if you're like on the ground and you're like half Nielsening someone, and they're like freeze, and then 2 people have to go in and take that over, but make it a completely different plot. So if it was violence, like literally have to shift that. It just becomes so entertaining and comedic. So I would definitely, that's a great one.
Yeah, you have to be physical for that game to work.
We used to play that a lot in high school, and there was 2 people that were really good at it. Zach was one of them, and Fat Burger, and it was like iconic when they would just like get going, and it really does inspire the other teammates to be like, well, I want to know how to do that. So definitely that game.
Ooh, space work. I love space work. A really good game. It's called Break Room. There's 2 different versions, Break Room and Treasure Hunt. Basically, everyone who's playing is in a line, and you'll go one by one into the break room. and you go in, you have to establish something. There's no talking in this scene. So I'll come in and go, oh, let me open the fridge to the break room. I've established this, and then I leave. The next person after me has to know that that fridge is there, they can acknowledge it, and add something new. This is also a good one for listening as well, because you have to be paying attention to where everything is, not only what it is, but exactly where it is in relation to each other. So if the fridge is here and the sink is here, and then somebody comes in and now the sink is here and the fridge is here, you're not listening, you're not paying attention, you don't know that space where it is.
It also helps with physicality because like we've had times where people walk in and immediately like trip over something and then that lays down the line that there's something on the floor. So the next person is gonna have to hop or crawl, whatever it is, but now there is something that's immediately established that's in the room.
Yeah.
So it does help you kind of get more physical and imagine. It helps with like your imagination a lot to like get a space much bigger than just like I'm making something up. It becomes a real space. It becomes like there's a fridge, there's a coffee mug, there's a rug on the floor, there's a dog in the house, there's, whatever it is that keeps you like
I think
actively
one time
engaged.
there was a baby somewhere in the break room.
Cabinets. Well, we were confused for a long time if it was a baby or a dog.
Yeah.
But then it was not a baby.
And a treasure hunt is just slightly different for break room, but it's the same kind of concept. One person goes at a time, but there's some secret item. Somebody will come in, find it, and they have to hide it somewhere else. So not only are you establishing what you're holding, but you're also going where you put it. So the locations are also important.
Yeah. So a basic structure of a scene, if you're just doing a typical scene, not a game, not any like, well, you would get a call for from the audience sometimes you don't. It would be the call for from the moderator, but it would just be, honestly, that's the beautiful thing about improv. Technically anything you want, but it will have a structure involving characters, usually a plot line.
Beginning, middle, end.
Beginning, middle, and end. Usually something achieved, usually an arc. Kind of everything you would see in a typical like storyline, just kind of smushed into 2 to 3 minutes, very quick. You also normally see some range of emotion for a character. They kind of like go through something that makes you kind of attached to them.
If there's no
some way.
story, then the audience isn't going to be as invested.
Right.
They're just going to be watching people do pointless things.
Right.
But if there's something happen, you get invested and
History established,
Yes,
usually.
yes.
Yeah, like relationships.
you build relationships.
Yeah.
Relationships, I think, is a very important thing for a structure of a scene.
Oh,
Because if you don't have a
100%.
relationship with the other people, the scene won't go anywhere.
It also makes it a lot easier on you as the performer and actor because when you have someone with you in the scene, it's like having someone with you in the scene. You're not alone anymore. You have someone to create the story with, like you would in real life in a relationship. So,
Ooh, my favorite game. I have two. It's a tie. One of them is Naive Scene Replay. It works, it's usually about 3 or 4 people, and 3 people will go outside, and one person will establish an entire scene only by themselves, including other characters, a story, like everything. And then one by one, you'll bring the other people in. The first person will do exactly what they did before, and the new person has to justify, they have to adapt, they have to put themselves into this story that is already created. It's really fun. There's a lot of gimmicks that go into it. It's just really fun and I like it. My second favorite game, almost a tie, it's called Toy Story. We kind of made it up, but you do a regular straight scene for people, and then you'll have the audience decide who they want to become a toy. And it's the same scene, but that person is limp. And the other people in the scene have to move them to do what they did in this scene. And slowly there's just one person who's moving all of these bodies around. And you're just watching this person struggle so hard.
beautiful.
Yes.
Stunning. Yeah.
And if you're a toy, you can make it harder for them or easy. It's you're giving them something to work off of.
Oh,
and-
absolutely. Yeah. My favorite game would definitely be Late to Work. This is also a great game for physicality. I love this game. So basically, you have 4 people in the scene. There's a boss, there's someone who's running late to work, and then there's the 2 coworkers who are helping them get out of being late to work. And basically what happens is before the person who's late to work goes outside, and the audience will help them decide why they were late to work, how they got to work and what they brought for their boss to say, I'm sorry, this is what I brought you. Like, yeah, a gift, a little present. And so, yeah, then the person comes back in, the two coworkers know what it is, and the boss knows what it is, and the audience knows what it is. So it gets pretty funny pretty quickly. That was so late.
Okay, the funniest thing though is because the two coworkers don't want the boss to know that they're helping.
Right, so they can't get caught. So everything they're doing, the boss's back is turned while they're trying to help the person understand what all of these three things are. It sounds confusing because it is verbally, but when you're doing it physically, you can pick it up pretty quickly. Yeah. It's really funny and usually ends up with something really physical because people are having to show them. Yeah. Like the boss will be like, where were you? And then he'll turn his back for some reason, like, but I need to check my papers, blah, blah, blah.
And the two people will be in a really weird position.
Boat, like rowing a boat, like you were, and then the person will be like, I was rowing a boat. And then the audience will clap if they get it correctly. And then you can kind of move on to the next thing. It can go on for a little bit, but it's very fun. It's very wholesome.
And like the coworkers, if the boss turns and looks at them, they have to justify why they're in this weird position and why they're acting this way.
Because there is that realism that's always still a part of improv. And then I think, not to be like, but for my second one, I really do think straight scenes just are honestly my favorite because I've seen so many beautiful, crazy, funny stories be created just off of like brilliant people's minds, and there's no like game, there's no gimmicks. It's just like really,
you take a word or a phrase and you make a whole story.
Yeah, created. Because I think most people who get into improv are doing it because they love to entertain people, because it's fun, and because we like to make people laugh and feel better and like kind of take you out of the realness of the world for a second. And so I think all of these games and all the tools we've taught you, everything kind of helps you to do that for people. So I would think straight scenes kind of do that the most for me when I'm watching. I kind of leave the world to see like the story that's kind of just being created by these people on stage. So yeah, I think that would be my second one. Okay. Hi, okay, welcome back, hi.
We're gonna do another warm-up called Yes and. Super, super simple, all about heightening and expanding. Yeah. So we're gonna go back and forth, just accepting what the other person gives us, and adding onto it.
None.
No denying allowed. All right, I'm gonna pick from this mystery bucket a little call for to get us going.
You mean all this right?
Yeah. Special effects makeup.
Beautiful.
I can't see, but it's there. All right. This looks way too real, Stacy.
Okay, too real. Okay, yes. Okay, that's fine. No, so do I take it off or do I just still go to the party and blend in? Like hide in the corner?
Yes, I mean, it's a Halloween party, right? And you look like a zombie. So I think that would make Jeffrey really notice
because Jeffrey said he loves zombies. So you see what I was trying to do? I was trying to go above and beyond.
Yes.
Right, and now I'm having a Mean Girls moment because I found out that they're all bunnies.
Yes.
And I look like this.
Yes, and that will make you stand out even more.
You're not like all these bunny girls. You're a zombie girl.
Yes, and zombies know how to defend themselves, so then I can tie in that I know karate.
Yes!
Impressive.
Yes, impressing him even more, maybe intimidating him a little too.
Men like dominance a little bit. Hi, yeah. I can sock you in the throat.
Yes.
Cute.
Yeah. Oh, whoa, you can kill me? That's hot.
Love that. Yes, and also a hot zombie because the bottom half
Matters.
Yes.
And scene.
There we go.
So funny.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm Zachary Downing, of course, again.
Sidney Aaron Abtaker. My YouTube channel and my Instagram will be down below. Follow, listen up.
Lydia Filippini. My Instagram will be linked below if you want to follow. There's not much improv content, but you know, that's cool. Yeah.
And of course, my Instagram will be linked below. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a pleasure watching, and we'll see you next time.